All right, moving on. Another all-nighter at the Knesset plenum marked by several more failed attempts at passing laws. But not necessarily because the laws were bad. Rather, it seems Israel's lawmakers just can't stop fighting with one another over coalition-opposition lines. And the Israeli public is paying the price. Recently failed propositions, including but not limited to everything from the family reunification law to decriminalization of recreational cannabis. So what are we to make of this kindergarten Knesset? Here to analyze is ILTV's Asaf Nissan. Asaf, thanks so much for being with us. It's great to have you.
Great to be here.
What are we seeing here in this fight with the different sides of the government?
An honest and simple answer, a kindergarten. It's the best example to call it. I mean, they can't stop fighting with each other for different laws and different aspects. Again, some of them are for reasonable reasons and for actual and factual reasons not to go with a specific law.
Okay, so give me some of the list. What are some of the laws that maybe passed or were torpedoed on party lines, or rather were passed ignoring party lines?
So far we didn't see anything so much past ignoring the lines, but we did see a few torpedoed attempts. I mean, we've seen it with the family reunification bill. We've seen it with the decriminalization, that despite the fact that people think it was just on a popular vote, the opposition did bring someone specific, Michal Voldiger, from the Zionist list, from the religious Zionist list, who actually does do a lot of work in the hospital business and a lot of the psychiatric wards, and she does say that a lot of damage is done by cannabis. So she actually brought up the more legitimate reason. But in the end of the day, I think it was mostly due to the fact that they don't want the coalition to succeed. They've been trying to sabotage it from day one. So I don't see a really big difference on what's been going on so far, to the fact that we might be seeing this a whole lot more.
Well, I mean, with cannabis specifically, I know that the law has ostensibly more than enough support to pass, having been supported by the Likud in the past when Sharon Haskel, who is author of the bill, was with the Likud. But after having skipped to the New Hope Party with Gideon Sa'ar, of course, the Likud is now rejecting that support, and without Mansour Abbas's Ram party, it's dead in the water. But
which is also surprising because they're opposing to religious reasons,
right,
which I have failed to find out exactly what they are, but we'll wait and see.
Well, I understand that Islam is against the use of any drugs for recreational reasons. But that's beside the point. Yeah, back to the Knesset. I mean, is this the worst partyism that we've seen in the Knesset, or is this how it's always been?
It's worse than ever. I haven't seen partyism like this in ever. I don't remember any parts of history. I mean, we've seen in the past in coalitions and oppositions back all the way to the 70s when Begin rose to power. The labor didn't fight him so much as just opposed as an intellectual challenge. They did come and tell him, look, on some things we don't agree, but in the end of the day, if they're in the favor of Israel, I think there were some laws that we even passed, despite the opposition not being completely for it.
How is the public reacting? Because I think that ultimately, at the end of the day, the people lose, because a lot of these bills are for the people and they're being rejected on party lines. So how much of the voter base is actually supporting their various elected officials in this continued stonewalling?
So surprisingly, it was a major support in the parties because, if, for example, in the opposition, most of the constituents feel that they were cheated. They were cheated out of their government, out of the right-wing government that was supposed to protect their interests, because it went to the government with the Arab parties and with the left. They feel betrayed. So in the end of the day, if the Likud does decide to fight the law, they don't mind. They're just glad they're torpedoing the entire offer. I mean, it's not far from the fact that they've been trying to destabilize and throw over the government due to inadequacy bills and calls for Knesset resignation.
No consequences, etc. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to see possibly a lot more of this in the coming weeks and months. Asaf Nissan, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.